Hello painters, hobbyists and fans of tiny space marines, and welcome to the video. My name's Josh, also known as Prince of Bealtan on the internet, and today we've got something a little bit special. This is Legions Imperialis, the brand new epic scale game from Games Workshop. So this is a game set within the Horus Heresy setting, and it is a mass battles game that is at an entirely different scale. I'm really excited to dive into this, so thank you to Games Workshop for sending this out to me so I can crack it open, share it with you guys and have a bit of a chat, see if it's something you guys would find value in. So let's get this box turned over and go over a little bit of what's inside. Okay, so here is the back of the box, and we can see we have 223 epic scale miniatures. By that we mean, it looks like Games Workshop are classifying each one of these tiny Space Marines as a miniature, which is great for our productivity because it means by buying this box we'll have painted absolutely hundreds. So looks like we've got ourselves a rulebook, a token set, some rules, dice, transfers and measuring sticks. And as for the miniatures, 106 infantry, 5 vehicles, 104 solar auxiliary infantry, with some tasty new sculpts here, and 2 warlord, sorry, not warlord, my goodness, warhound titans. Those ones I believe were previously available in the Adeptus Titanicus game, so some of you might have these already. But I don't. I've not worked on anything at this scale before, so I'm really excited to dive into it. You know, I never understood why they never saw it coming, like if his last name was Heresy, right? Yeah, I don't know. Okay. In the box, and oh my god, right, immediately I am drawn to... It's the littlest Space Marine. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm finding getting that so hard to focus, but these are tiny, tiny Space Marines. There might even be solar auxiliary actually now I look at it. Where are the tiny Space Marines? Okay, so yeah, those are solar auxiliary. My bad to the brave humans in the setting. Yep, so it looks like we have a shrunk down version of the Mark 6 Space Marines from the Horus Heresy box game, which with the magic of cinema, I have right here. This is one of the models from my Sons of Horus, and as you can see, he's a good bit bigger. Wow, okay, so this is going to be a heck of a painting challenge. Let me try and identify some more of the sprues so you can get a better look. Okay, so first we have our infantry frames for the Space Marines. Now, it looks like I've had a bit of a search, and in total you get 2 of these infantry frames, and they look to contain a command squad, some jump infantry, lots and lots of legionnaires, as well as some tiny cataphracti terminators, with some special weapons like thunderhammers, as well as our multi-part Contemptor Dreadnought here. It looks like it comes with choice of weapons, carries assault cannon, a las cannon. Looks like a missile launcher there for maybe some heavy support marines here. So, it looks like a lot of the models are one piece, which at this scale might be a bit of a blessing if you're new to working with it like I am. Some of them, like I've said, seen in the heavy weapon squads, they seem to have multiple pieces. And the Contemptors look to be arms, legs, and a torso. Oh, and the little back section there. Cool. So as I mentioned, the box, you get 2 of these. This next sprue is really cool, and it looks to contain our Sakaran battle tanks here. So shrunk down versions of the iconic kit from the Horus Heresy, which existed in resin for a long time before it existed in plastic. We have the Sakaran in its new iteration, shrunk down. Looks like we have some plasma, the standard Sakaran battle cannon, and a great little option. So it looks like we make 2 of these from the one frame. Okay, and it looks like now we have our Predator sprue. This is the old classic Space Marine Deimos pattern Predator, rendered once again in miniature with, I have to say, there's an incredible amount of detail on these, but it's so small that I think that nicely dry brushing these miniatures and shading them means that we should be able to get quite a lot of detail. I mean, look at that. There's just tons, all the individual rivets. So there is our Space Marine half. As you can see, we've got the 2 infantry sprues on the right, as well as the 2 vehicle sprues on the left. So that will make you your infantry figures, your dreadnoughts, your cataphracti terminators, your 2 Sakaran battle tanks, and your 3 predators. If you're looking to split this box with a friend maybe, or you're looking to trade a half away, you should know that this is what you'll be getting if you're expecting the Space Marine side. It looks really cool, so let's move over to the Solar Auxilia, and we'll see what we have from their end. Okay, so yeah, as I assumed, we have another 2 infantry sprues, this time for the Solar Auxilia. So it looks like you have your commanders up at the top. These look like your command squad. You then have your las rifle tertios, or your las rifle infantry squads. Looks like some of the storm sections, so these are almost like your veterans, and they've got like some power axes and some bonus weapons. As well as, if we move further down, it looks like we have the parts to build some of the Karanite Ogrins from the Solar Auxilia list. We also have these new mechs, which I think are very cool and something we've not seen before, to my knowledge. I wonder if that's a sign of us going to see these in 40k or 30k. I'd be really interested for the Solar Auxilia army to get that bit more support, and there is always, well, at the time of recording, there's a mystery army due to be revealed for the Horus Heresy, so I don't know, what do we think? Comment below if you think it'll be Solar Auxilia. If not, I'll be interested to see what everybody's thinking that might be. Okay, so moving on, we have our vehicle sprues. So this looks like a Leman Russ sprue to me, as the average guard admirer. The Leman Russ is a fairly standard and classic tank that lasted all throughout the Horus Heresy and well into 40k. Very, very, very cool. And I can't help always but just having a look at the detail, because these miniatures are so small, you would expect them to be very smooth, very flat, but no, the detail is absolutely insane over here. That is phenomenal. Right, and our last sprue looks to be 2 Malkador battle tanks. So these ones are considerably larger and more powerful than the Leman Russ, and very common during the time of the Horus Heresy. So it's great to see those here. And as I mentioned, just with the Space Marines, you're going to get 2 tank sprues and 2 infantry sprues, and that will make up the Solar Auxilia half of the box. We'll take a brief look at the Warhound Titans, as this is a model that is already in production, made for the Adeptus Titanicus game. As you can see, we've got our canopies here with our awesome heraldry, whether you are a servant of Horus or whether you are a defender of the Imperium, with lots of awesome panels, for epic things like freehand and transfers. You get 2 of these, so I'm unsure whether you can have one on each side. I'll have to have a dive into the rulebook later on for that, but I will figure it out and I will let you all know. Okay, and now we come to the paper section of our Legions Imperialis battle box. We start off with these very, very tiny transfers. Specifically branded Legions Imperialis transfer sheet. I did wonder if it would have some similarities with some of the Adeptus Titanicus ones, but it looks like we are all present here. Rather interestingly, it looks like we have, yeah, so we've got a mixed bag of the infantry banners and the actual legions themselves. Looks like we have the Iron Hands, the Sons of Horus, the Imperial Fist, and the Death Guard. Interesting choices for those ones. Yeah. Okay, well, those are the ones you're going to get in the box, so let's move those out of the way for now. We have our Legions Imperialis rulebook, which is an absolutely gargantuan tome, very much reminiscent of the Age of Darkness books for the new edition of Horus Heresy. Yep, there we go. As you can see there, we've got around 20 pages of lore, about 100 pages of rules. The Legions Imperialis, my bad, gosh, lots of long words with these boxes. The Astartes army section, the Solar Auxiliar army section, and then the strategic assets. So that is knight detachments and titans that you might want to include in your army. And then I've just seen we've got my favourite bit, a hobby section. I love a hobby section. The hobby sections are the bits that really get me excited about this book. This is a real testament to how terrible at some of these games I am, because I go straight to the hobby section. Yeah, here we go. This is what I'm all about. Credited. Love that. We've got some awesome looking Ultramarines, and this looks really cool. I've got to be honest, like seeing this all laid out, something that would be very, very impressive in 28mm scale, but is very achievable in this scale, is really, really exciting. We've got these Dark Angels as well. Got to make sure to get the names in. Names are important. And that's very, very cool. So as we can see here, we've got like more of an Astartes force here. Then this one seems to have quite a lot of Questoris Knights back up. So we've got some Solar Auxilia representation here. Very nice, very befitting for the Hammer of the Emperor. And some Iron Hands here. Now, I always find these sections so inspiring, and I haven't decided how I should paint mine up yet, but I will definitely be referring to some of these photos to help me. Oh man, it just keeps going. Look at this. Got a soft spot for Blood Angels. I have painted a Heresy Blood Angels army. Some more Solar Auxilia here. It's a very striking colour scheme. And then some showcases. I won't spoil it all for you. Obviously, if you're getting the book, you're going to want to see some of this yourself, but I am a fan. I do love a good hobby section, and I can't wait to have a flick through this book and think about how I want to do my force. So now let's have a look at the rest of the stuff. Let's just move this out of the way. So this very, very lovely piece of art is actually our instructions, which is nice. Always nice to get some extra bits of art. Keeps us inspired, keeps us sane while we're building 200 tiny Space Marines, which, as I've mentioned, yeah, frankly, mostly one piece. So we've got squads like the Command Squad, and they all share a base. We've got our Tactical Legionnaires, our Assault Marines. As I saw, the Contemptor looks to be a couple more parts than I imagined, actually. The weapon being multiple parts is fairly surprising to me. Okay, I will let you know how that goes. Similarly for the Solar Auxilia. The Velatari, that's the name of the Storm section. There we go. Oh, great. And yeah, this is the very interesting one, isn't it? It's the Aethon Heavy Sentinels. The model I think looks very cool, and I would really, really like to see this in a big scale. I would hope that maybe it would just be a matter of time. Okay, and last but not least, we have our token pack. Looks like we have some objectives, some unit status indicators that will help us during our games. And finally, the part that might be of interest to the most of you is this is the reference sheet. So this has the majority of the rules on it. Now, these have been viewed on Warhammer Community in the past couple of weeks, so if you want them in way better quality, I urge you to please go on there. But as you can see, it looks like we play the game by giving orders, having initiative, alternating movements, alternating activations all round, which is great for a mass battle game. Firing looks fairly standard. Looks like, yeah, we're choosing targets, making hits and resolving hits. The orders, okay, so these are what referred to on the tokens. So we have first fire, so can call Overwatch. Advance, okay, that lets our guys move a bit further. Same with march. Charging, I think we all know what charging does, especially if you're a Blood Angel fan or a World Eater. Then a fall back. I will just conveniently pull that there. Is there anything on the back? Oh yeah, there is. Tons. So yeah, we've got how to resolve combat. Some cool bits for Titans here. And then flyers, because this does encompass Aeronautica Imperialis. If you played that game, you'll be able to play them all under this one roof. But in my opinion, that's a lot of looking at cardboard and lots of looking at miniatures. I think I'd better go and build one, maybe show you how big these miniatures actually are compared to regular Space Marines. So I'll be right back in just a moment with a built Space Marine, and let's see quite how high they stack up to their 28mm companions. So now I guess it's time for the question you've all been waiting for. How big is a Legionis Imperialis Space Marine? And let me answer that question for you. Not very. So here we have our Legionis Imperialis Space Marine with a Mark VI Space Marine from Horus Heresy: The Age of Darkness, a Primaris Infernus Marine from Leviathan, a Cataphracti Terminator from The Age of Darkness, and an Indomitus Terminator from Leviathan. As you can see, the miniatures from Legionis Imperialis are very small indeed, but this is going to allow you to create those mass battles that you always dreamed of. You might have read a lot in the Horus Heresy and other Black Library novels about these planet-spanning conflicts with hundreds of Space Marines involved, and as we all know from collecting 28mm or regular scale models for games like Warhammer 40,000 or the Horus Heresy, that would take an incredibly large amount of time and space to accurately represent these conflicts. With a game like Legions Imperialis, you're able to actually have these final death throes of a planet scale battles with models that are, albeit very small, but also, as we've seen from the sprues, very detailed. I'm interested in getting another look at these models as the range progresses, and you better believe I'll be working on some for myself, which I will share with you once I have a bit of paint on them. So, for now, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Please leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Okay then, bye-bye.